Trout, it's a good one. One hopper. Easily got down to the foot of the ball. Money with a throw. Trout, great throw position.
That's the way he goes about playing the game. But
this is first of the season. It is. Big fly for Mike Trout. 6-2 Texas. Oh boy, Ryan, that's why we brought you in here. Good luck. See? So good. That's out toward right center field. DeShields moving back. Near the wall. Gone! Big fly for Mike Trout, and the Angels have a 2-1 lead. That's out to right center field again, and DeShields not even going to turn, or is he? Gone! Big fly once again for number 27. 3-1 Halos. Look at the 1-1. That is out to deep left field. Hunter Pence is going to watch this one go. Big fly. 4-0 Angels. This one got towards center, chasing Trout back. Onto the track he goes, leaps up, and he got it. MVP's doing MVP things tonight. Christian Yelich, an outstanding play. Mike Trout, the same. That is out toward deep left center field. Bally Smith is back. Gone! Big fly for Mike Trout. 1-3.
To hit a home run that night, and what did Mike Trout do? Yes, he did. Now, the biggest question I have for you is, you asked Mike Trout that same question you asked him last year.
Yeah. I get up.
I guess he hit a home run.
Trout skies one out toward left center field. This one's hit well to the wall, and it will be. Perfect timing. Big fly for Mike Trout. The Angels lead it 3-1. Towering shot and a heck of an effort on the part of the Orioles. That is launched out to deep left field. Big fly for Mike Trout. 1-0 Halos. 250th career home run for Mike Trout. Talked about him in the opening, getting locked in. Well, he's locked in. Watch out if you're a pitcher. Cutter in, looks like he's going to slide her away. That is out to deep left field. That is long gone for Mike Trout. Big fly for number 27. His 13th of the season gets the Angels on the board. It's 3-1 Seattle. Adjustment made. This guy just went across the field pretty well. Trout racing back to the track. Near the wall. He'll leap up and make the catch. Scotty hustles back to second. Down to the first. 2 down. Trout launching one out to deep left field. Back-to-back jacks. Seager shooting one out to left center field. Trout was shading it that way. Ball's got the carry. And Trout, the last second, leaps up, makes the catch, and drops Seager in the second extra base hit. 1 down. That ball greenly right for Trout. That is out toward left center field. Verdugo racing back to the track. Gone! Big fly for Mike Trout. We're tied at 3. Pat Gillick, the GM, and Trout launching one out to left center field. Big fly for number 27. It's 10-1 Halos. Third hit of the night. And That is skied and high and deep to left field. Gurriel, a courtesy look. Mammoth big fly for Mike Trout, and the Angels lead it 3-0.
Trout has been excellent throughout his career with the bases loaded.
And that is drilled out to deep left center field. No doubt about it. Grand salami time for Mike Trout. 7-3 Halos. Out toward right center field. Trout giving chase, dives, and he makes the catch. Nice play by Trout, and the ball slicing away from him. One down.
Boy, from our angle, I didn't think he had a shot at all getting that baseball.
Head of the count, 3-1. That is drilled out to left field, and how about this? Big fly for number 27, and the Angels have a 1-0 lead.
What did we say in the opening about Trout against the Rangers? Well, now the all-time lead as far as home runs.
Trout shoots one out to the alley, right center field, both Reddick and Springer. This one's gone. Big fly for Mike Trout. The opposite way. The Angels get one of those runs back. It's 8-4.
Make that 3 home runs versus calling the cue for Mike Trout.
Drilled out toward center field. Springer is back to the infield. At the wall. Gone. Big fly for Mike Trout, his second of the ball game. Halos lead it 10-8. Locked in. 67 right back good one, and they got him!
He wants to check, even if you can see we got his foot in there, but what throw by Trout. Vicious. I know quickly here.
Out of the ball. No challenge left.
What a throw by Trout. The MVP candidate does it all.
And that is hammered out to deep left field. That is long gone. Big fly for Mike Trout. The Angels lead it 2-1.
Trout, 11th home run, last 13 games, 23 runs, popping in 111 miles per hour exit velocity on that mammoth home run.
2-1. And the sky to left center field. Does it have enough to get out of here? At the wall, and is gone. Big fly for Mike Trout, a towering shot. The Angels get on the board. It's 4-1 Tigers. 35th home run of the season.
And just like that, ties the club record for home runs in a month with 13.
That is hammered out to deep left field, a no-doubter. Big fly for Mike Trout, second solo shot allowed by Castillo. 6-2 Reds.
37th home run for Trout.
He does that, pulls it out to deep left field, no doubt about it. Big fly for Mike Trout, and the Angels extend the lead to 5-1.
Get in, get right. First home run for Mike Trout at Fenway Park. A huge home run.
It's Trout, 2 outs, nobody on. Trout shoots one out towards deep center field. That one is onto the rocks. Big fly by Trout. Solo shot, 2-0 Angels.
What did we say? We thought Trout was going to have a big game today. 2 for 2 already for Trout.
3-2. Out towards Shella. Trout getting behind him. Makes a catch. Hands tagging. A little bit of a pitch there. Still a good throw, but can't come off the base. Out at third. Man seems to think he got back there. He beat the throw.
We are live. What is going on, people? How about that intro? Dang, Bill Senior, how freaking awesome was that? You worked hard on that. A freaking plus, my man. That was, let's watch that some more.
I'm sweating bullets here. Everything's working fine so far.
Well, I am too, but that's because it's 90 degrees in my room here. I was rocking out. I don't understand why it was so many Phillies. I think it's Stacy's fault. But other than that, it was mint, as my friend said.
There was no Phillies
I love
in
that.
that clip. It was all Mike Trout.
No, at the end there, you had a couple of, you had Cole Hamels, and he had Hall at the end there.
Oh, on our opening there. Yeah, well, they're my old photos from when I used to do the photography.
It was sweet. It was sweet. Speaking of Mike Trout, I feel like there was a bad call there. I think Muncy was safe at the plate, but that's just me. What's going on, my friends? Bill, how are you? Happy Thursday. What's going on?
It's going good here. Like I said, I just sweating bullets with the new software here, trying to get it going. Had it all set up for last week, and at the last second, we had to go back to our safety net, and we had a glitch last week. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed here.
I don't remember last week at all. I remember right now, freaking awesome. By the way, I love your background too. I like the lights. I happen to know that like a month ago you owned 0 Funko Pops. What the heck? Did you break into a Funko Pop?
That's all you're doing, Jeff. That's because of you.
You know, on my show DizTube, we had Forever Freaky Funko was supposed to be my guest, and he didn't even show that night. Not mad at him. Great guy. We got him rescheduled. Had a family situation, but so I ended up showing my Funko Pops that night, and yes, I should have sold those on commission because that's 1, 2, 3. That's a lot. So anyway, great job on the intro. And Bill Jr., my gosh, that jersey. I need to wear that, one, because I love it, and two, my wife wouldn't even stand next to me with it because she hates my Hawaiian print shirts. That freaking thing is awesome. Does it come in a 3X? Because I'm going to need one.
I think it's about a 2 or 3X right now. It's a little bit big on me for sure. This is an Atlantic City Surf of the International League when they were an actual team in New Jersey. And yeah, it was some charity that they were raising money for. My dad ended up bidding on a jersey signed by one of the players. I think he was the first baseman. I can't remember his name now. But yeah, it's just something cool to have that nobody's going to see wherever you go.
I love it. That's exactly what I like, stuff like that no one else has. And by the way, if nobody knows who the first baseman was, it was, Don Mattingly or something. Come on. But anyway, I love it.
I can't remember the player's name, but yeah, I got that at the Atlantic City Surf game, and I won that, like you said, in the silent auction. And it was the third baseman for them at the time, and his last name was Delgado, and I can't remember his first name.
Carlos. He moved over to first base once he made the majors.
No, different Delgado.
Come on, it's a good story.
No, I wish I could say
people
that.
Don't lie very well in Philadelphia. So let's say hi to everybody in chat. We got Tim Pruitt in the house. We had Stacy Rogers in the house. Movie Mania Nick in the house. Yeah, did you guys love that intro, guys? Give Bill Senior some love for that. That was amazing. Tim says, "Well, Jeff, we know how you feel about the officials. I mean, they're allowed to be on the planet, but get off my field." Stacy, it is a bit harder to hear Bill, than you, Jeff. So Bill, Stacy is saying that you're a little low on the volume. On my screen, Bill Senior, so is Epic. So there you go. Good feedback, guys. I appreciate that. We can hear you better than we can hear Bill Senior. Okay, yeah, everybody's saying that. So try it again.
All right, how's that, guys? I have to move it a little closer.
That better?
Hopefully that's better. Test with the new system.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it all. Griswold family vacay in the house. What's going on? So we've got some news. I don't know who wants to start. I want to talk about some nostalgia, and I want to talk about some right now. But you guys both had some topics you want to talk about, and I hear there's a competition that I get to be in today. Is that a thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, so the first thing I really wanted to talk about was the draft. Now, there's going to be a lot of speculation about what's going on with the draft and about who's going to get drafted when, because there wasn't a high school or college season, so the rankings from last year pretty much stayed the same. So it's like, if you're on the top 10 list right now, you don't have to worry about your spot really because you haven't been able to downgrade yourself. But if you're one of those sophomores or juniors last year, you're not going to get a chance to prove yourself this year, which kind of stinks. But I got the top 10 list right here.
How many people end up in the first round that aren't even projections currently? So that sucks. I feel bad for those seniors.
Yeah, especially high school kids. Like it's bad. Like there's a senior in the top 10 in high school in Florida right now, and I'm sure that there could have been at least one other one if we had a senior year this year, because you know how Florida goes with high school baseball. They're just pumping out prospects left and right. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
But honestly though, if you're a primo guy who's not quite in the first round and you're trying to get there, it stinks for you. But if you're one of those guys who's not going to get drafted, you're going to have a huge advantage this year because they're all going to be free agents. I mean, the draft is 100% in favor of the owners. If you're a free agent going in, you have all the advantages. So it'll actually be to the player's advantage big time, just not on the top, not the cream of the crop.
Yeah, on with the draft, they're getting ready to announce it's supposed to drop down to 5 rounds this year. So it's going to be a lot less, and the owners are looking to save money. Obviously, it's usually the way it goes, right? They're always trying to save money. But they're going down to 5 rounds, and what they're saying is the signing bonuses, which normally the players would get if they got drafted this year, they would get their signing bonus in full by the end of next season. But this year, at the end of this year, they would get $100,000 and then 50% next year, and then the balance in 2022.
Do you think this means more of the high school kiddos will go and take a year of college? Because I do.
Yeah,
if you got a scholarship or you got you don't have a place to play, but you can sign a contract, everybody who's 18 is going to put their stock in themselves. They're going to bet on themselves. So I'm guessing college baseball is going to get more of the primo players than ever before this year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And the high school kids, it's probably going to be worth their while because it sounds like the draft could be messed up for this year and next year as well.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, and next year too, really? Why end next year?
Well, they still don't know, what's going to happen. The amount of income they're going to have from this year is going to be way down because they're saying that normally 40% of their income is from ticket revenue. So they're losing that. And also, they're losing, if they play an 82-game season, they're losing 82 games of TV revenue also.
What about the okay, so have you guys heard that they're going to scrap the minor leagues in full this year? Because that would have a huge effect on.
I had heard talk about it, but I haven't seen anything come out in writing yet. It could happen.
I feel like I read about that like a couple weeks ago, but not recently. Yeah. What about you, Bill Jr., anything?
I mean, I haven't heard anything recent about it, like you were saying, but yeah, I heard possible talk about them completely scrapping the minor league season, which could have like huge impacts on the pipeline. I mean, a lot of these guys are coming up. I know Phillies and the Dodgers organization, they got like big prospects looking to come up, and they're not going to have a chance to play a full season this year, and that's going to hurt them in the long run. It's going to hurt every team. So I mean, it's a little fair in that aspect, but it's going to.
But think about all the jobs too, from the athlete jobs to the vendor jobs to everything. I mean, I don't believe that will happen, but I do think it's a little terrifying when entire, LA County decided to take the summer off and just made that announcement today. And California's, I live in Texas and we're back to work, and that would include, Globe Life Park and the employees there. But in LA and in San Francisco and in plenty of other places, New York, and it's just a different world. So it's going to be hard to run. Whatever they do, all the teams aren't going to have the same. Certainly won't be a level playing field. Let's put it that way. I mean, I was saying pre-show, a week ago I was 99% sure we were having a league season. Now I'm less so. People like Blake Snell coming out and saying I ain't playing for half my contract, and lots of other ones too. I hear the agents were throwing a stink about the proposal before it was even out there. And the players are certainly not jumping up and down to get on the field, which I guess I can understand that. I mean, they're taking a larger risk than they ever would and for less pay. I don't know. What say you? Do you guys think we're having a season? And
I did hear something about that. The one thing that they were talking about, like, somebody like Mike Trout that makes $30-some million a year, if he gets half of that, he's still making a hell of a living for the year. But somebody like Pete Alonso, he's making, I know he got a little raise this year after winning the Rookie of the Year and all last year. And I think he's $600,000. Well, that gets cut in half. Well, if they play less than that, and then you figure by the time because they pay taxes in every place that they play. So all those states, they're paying taxes. So now, and then they're paying their agent. So his $600,000 by the time everything's done, he's making $100 and some $1,000, which is still a hell of a lot of money. But think of it, he's going to risk injury that could ruin his career for that kind of money. It's that they're the ones that are going to be the hardest. They said is the big name players that are still under their rookie contracts that are not making a lot of money.
Well, I agree, especially think about the pitchers, specifically Blake Snell. I mean, because he's the one that's throwing the stink today that everyone's talking about. He's coming off an injury. Clearly, he did not have a great year last year. He's an elite pitcher. He's making about $9 million a year. Cut that in half, it's $4.5 million. Is it worth it to him? What if he goes out there for $4.5 million and he does get hurt? And then his future. I mean, it's about future earnings too. Pete Alonso is going to be fine because the world's going to come around. A pitcher throws. I don't know where Blake Snell is in his contracts, but if somebody's at the end of their contract to play for half of your last year's salary and then hope you get another contract, you better not get hurt. And I mean, people get hurt when they're trying not to get hurt. So I don't know. I got something in my eye. I think that. Well, I'll just say it again. I think it's less likely that we have a season than I thought a week ago. I still think we're going to have a season. I don't think coming out with 50-50 revenue split between the players and the owners is a good idea. And I got to be honest with you. No one's going to be on the owner's side on this one. And I'm sure as heck not in this case. The owners haven't publicly put out how much they make, haven't opened their books in like 2 generations, I think. So I don't know. I fear this is going to turn into a labor issue. And I think that because again, Texas versus California, or Florida versus New York, it's just a different world in those states. I don't know how that's going to play out. I'm worried about it.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen. I mean, the big thing is it's going to be the money issue, and the Tony Clark, the president of the Players Association, has already come out and said one of the things that they're trying to do. They feel in the proposal that Major League Baseball gave to them was to institute the start of a salary cap, and they're dead against that.
Players won't do that. Players will not do that. Players would sit out the whole year before they did that.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that, Bill Jr.? Do you think a salary cap is in our future?
I'd hope not, but I mean, who knows with what's going on in the world today? I mean, I know people just want to see baseball. These guys want to play, but they don't want to play for nothing or half, and then risk injury and future earnings, like you were saying earlier. But I don't know. It's going to be very hard for the Players Association and then the league to get on board with the same exact mindset. Somebody's going to be butthurt
Totally
somewhere, and it might be the owners. It's probably going to be the players. If all said and done, because they're the employees in the situation. So who knows? We'll see. But I mean, I hope it all works out. I want to see ball.
Oh man, me too. I don't know this, but I can't imagine the owners don't have some kind of insurance policy in place. I mean, the odds of having a season interrupted would be very, very low. Here we are in that situation. So other companies have business interruption insurance. I'm guessing Major League owners do. But even if they don't, they're self-insured because they're freaking rich. So if a billionaire takes off, 9 months of revenue, he has to give up another, island vacation? I mean, what are we talking about? The players have much more to lose here, and much more to risk. I mean, I don't even want to say this out loud, but if the 2020 season never comes about, the owners aren't. Nobody's going to, I mean, other than the Mets, nobody's going to be sold because the Mets are already for sale. Like, the owners will be fine. They can build revenue off of all kinds of stuff. Major League Baseball has all kinds of properties. The video game things and Major League Baseball, the TV channel and all those things won't be the same, of course. The players, what's the average career? 4, 5 years, 6 years? I don't know what the answer is to that, but it's not long. If you're giving up one of those 4 or 5 or 6 years, maybe Mike Trout, yeah, okay, he's fine, yeah. But what about fill in the blank every other player we can think of? I don't know. I think there's 0% chance we'll have a salary cap, and I'm actually very against the salary cap. But the world might be, the public perception might be finally against them on that one.
Yeah. The one thing that the players that they did like was the 50-50 revenue split that they were talking about.
The players like that?
Yeah, they like that part of it because before this, I think it was 40-60 or 45-55 in favor of the owners. I don't really understand. It's so complex, their whole system. But the
Yeah, I think that the players are very anti the 50-50 split. I've read that numerous times.
I thought that they were.
And then guys like Justin Turner, and guys who were on their last year of a contract, like Justin Turner, I'm a Dodgers fan. He is on the last year of his contract. He needs to have a great year to go get a big contract. If you're a former superstar who's not last year wasn't your best year, and then you take a year off, you're losing money. You're not going to get the big contract. Like, I don't know. How many people, Mookie Betts is going to be fine. Justin Turner is going to lose millions of dollars on this if he doesn't play. So there's going to be different perspectives on different players. Of course, there's going to be the whole, what does the family think? Maybe somebody's wife is pregnant, all kinds of things that people are thinking about more seriously because, health is health. And so I don't know. Last week I was sitting here saying, hey, we're going to have a season. This week I'm probably 70-30, but that's 70 is a lot less than 100.
Here's the thing that I haven't heard yet, and I'd be curious to know this. What's their drop dead date to where either we're going to play or we're not going to play this season? I haven't heard that yet.
Well, they won't if they have. I bet they haven't come up with one, but if they did, they're not going to tell us. I mean, there's no way they would tell us that. I don't know. Give me a percentage. I'm going to go 70-30 that we play. What do you guys think?
The way after listening to the statement from Tony Clark the other day, I say it's more like 50-50 or 60-40. I don't know. Like you, I was pretty sure we were going to have baseball by by July at the latest. But now I'm not so sure. I mean, that proposal came out Monday or Sunday night. They brought it to the players, and really, you haven't really heard much, from either side since.
What do you think, Bill Jr.?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. It's looking less likely than it did a week ago when we were on here, but I don't know. It all depends on how much money they can end up making. That's the name of the game nowadays. It's sad to say it, but it's the name of the game. How much money can they make off of playing a game? So, I mean,
yeah,
as long as we keep the players safe and happy, I'm good with it because I'm, a former player. I'm not an owner. I'm not a millionaire, so I don't have their mindset. But to me, keep the players safe and happy, and we'll have a season.
Yeah.
But I don't think the owners will go for that.
It's going to be interesting. Movie Mania Nick says, I would say if nothing is done by the end of July, forget about it. So the plan apparently talks about they start playing spring training late June and get up and running by, I think I said, did I read the 4th of July? I think I did. I wouldn't swear to that.
It was like the 2nd or something, right around there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, tick-tock. It's May 4th. I'm looking at my calendar. It says May 14th on mine. I hope that's crazy. Like, I don't even understand. When I say that out loud, it feels fake. All of April, and we're halfway through May. I mean, let's be real. We're at 25% of the season is already gone.
Now, the one thing that did come out of the proposal was your active roster, as far as players in your dugout, is going to be 30. But the actual, instead of the 40-man roster, I believe it was 50 that I saw. And I'm sure they're going to.
I've seen different things. I remember reading one thing I didn't agree or believe, but that's going to be a big deal too. And I think that's where the players were going to probably get a concession from ownership. Less people on the roster is less money the owners have to pay. But with a truncated season, more games in less time, it's going to necessitate more pitching. It's going to necessitate a larger roster. I could see them going to 40 or 50. I don't know. Hey, Mick, how are you? Mick says, I'll be pissed if baseball does not play and the NBA picks up their season, the NFL starts as scheduled. So the NFL is going to start as scheduled. I would be shocked if they don't. The NBA just polled their players, which shocked me because I think the players in the NBA will say, yeah, the season's over. What do they do if they're in the NBA? Do they just pick up at the playoffs right now? Do they truncate, my big word for the day, the playoffs? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Mark Cuban, who's obviously he's local to me, he's a big proponent of getting up and running, but he doesn't see how it's going to happen this year, even with empty stadiums. I don't know. I think basketball is unlikely. I do. What do you guys think about the other sports? Any thoughts on that?
he was all for it in the beginning, as long as safety of the players and everybody involved. But now listening to his comments the other day, I don't know. And at this point, I sure hope that they really don't even pick up their season. I mean, just if they're going to play, go right into the playoffs. I mean, why extend it so long when their season starts again in October? And again,
Yeah.
players when they're playing, they've had a nice rest now for 2 months, but still, I mean, that's a long and grinding season. Say if they didn't end till August and 4 weeks later turn around and start out another, 80, 81 or however many games they play.
Yeah. If I were a betting man, and I would say no NBA. What do you think, Bill Jr.?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do NBA, but if, like my dad was saying, if they are, they're going to have to do something to do it quick because the next season is approaching very fast. NFL, they made out like bandits on this one because they don't really have to worry about as much. I mean, if this thing goes on any longer, they probably will have to start worrying about it, but they won't even start, here for another couple months. So we'll see how it goes. But NBA, if they're going to do anything, they need to do it now and go right into the playoffs because they at least have the luxury of enclosed buildings, so they can mitigate a little bit of that there. But football, yeah, they should be all right. I mean, unless this thing drags out until August, September, which I know you just said LA County just shut down for the next 3 months. I saw that today as well, and I mean, who knows?
Insane.
Like, it's crazy.
I don't want to get off baseball, but here's a prediction: mass exodus. I live in Texas. I used to live in California. Many Californians are moving to Texas. I suspect most of California will be moving to Texas in the next few months. So it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy, but that's a little off topic. But if you can't, though, whether I agree with it or not, Dodger Stadium's in freaking LA. I mean, if LA shut down through until the fall, that takes care of the Dodgers' home season. I mean,
Well, then again, though, they're not going to have fans, so maybe that doesn't go with that.
if he's not letting you get a haircut, he's not letting you play baseball. I mean, you can't even go to the beach.
Yeah, it's just crazy how California is, I could see if it in certain areas, I really don't want to talk about, what's going on. I hear it every day, but just real quick, it's got to be, I can see in areas where it's a hotter spot than others, to loosen up a little bit, and maybe the other ones come later, but they all need to get on the same page.
See, and that's exactly what I'm saying, and I don't think it's possible for them to, because the Dodgers situation is nothing like the Rangers situation, and the Rangers situation is nothing like the Yankees situation, and that's gonna be a curveball of all time. I don't know. I don't know. I liked the idea of doing neutral sites. I mean, again, if you play games in Arlington here in Texas, and where would you play in California that's a dome? I don't know. But my point is, get 2 or 3 stadiums and play a bunch of games in those places, and the players don't have to travel as much. But it doesn't seem like that's their plan. I don't know. Everybody thinks, okay, I've got this plan and it would work. I think my plan would work because it would ensure less travel. And I won't go through it again. I've talked about it on the other streams. But if they're trying to do home games at the home parks, there's no season. There's no way they're playing games in Yankee Stadium and wherever the Mets play in July. I mean, again, the California governor and the California mayor just shut it down. So I don't know. I can't imagine them keeping the populace happy with staying home if Justin Turner's out there playing ball. I don't know. I don't want to talk about the virus either, but I mean, everything's about the virus right now. I mean, how do you get away from that?
Yeah. It's just starting to get old. That everybody's tempers are starting to flare, and like I said, everybody needs to, they all just need to stop playing politics and all get on the same page for once. Yeah,
well, unfortunately, we're in a political year. Everybody's going crazy. Well, I don't know. I just want to have a season. I don't know. I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but my excitement for the likelihood of it has waned quite a bit. So, you guys had some other things you want to talk about. Bill, you've got some stuff you're going to be putting on our channel you want to talk about, and I think that Bill Senior's got a game we're going to play. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I got some trivia, and I also got something else I want to talk about. But go ahead, Bill. I want to do something here real quick, and you want to talk about what you're going to be doing?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm gonna be setting up a brand new backdrop coming in here, posting up new videos, kind of instructional based, but also for the coaches as well, depending on who's listening. Everybody, parents, in fact. So different aspects of the game that people don't really associate with or even teach, like the mental approach. It's not one of the 5 tools, but that is your strongest tool is your mind. So I'm gonna be going over that, and then I'm gonna be going over a bunch of other stuff and. Including like different drills you can try and different ways to make your mind work better in your favor. So it's going to be real exciting. I got a brand new backdrop, like I said, coming in, and it's going to be a lot more professional coming in here soon. I got a nice little shirt mic I can put on and take 4K video, and it's going to be real nice.
Sweet. So a coaching kind of clinic kind of series, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, pretty much. It's I'm going to call it grunt work, which kind of works on 2 different levels. I mean, you got to put in that grunt work. Plus, I'm in the Army too, and I was a grunt, so it works there as well.
Exactly.
But, yeah, it's going to be fun. Anybody who is involved in baseball, whether you're a player, a coach, or a parent of a player, stop by, check it out. It's going to have instructional value for everybody.
I love it. I love that idea. In my former life, I was a player, but after that I was a coach, and I coached at the high school level, and I wish I had what we have now on YouTube. There's so much more out there. I was in San Diego, and we had the San Diego School of Baseball, and that brings back memories, and it gets me excited. It's not the life I'm living currently. God decided that I was going to go work for a nonprofit and have 4 daughters who don't want to play softball, but that's okay. But there's so many people who need to learn, want to learn, need more opportunities to learn the intricacies of our great game. So I think there's a huge market for that, and nobody lets me play catch anymore, but I'll be watching that for sure. That's fun. I love it. Now, you talked about the mental part of the game. Tell me more about that. Like, what are your thoughts on that? I am a big proponent of the David Eckstein, be smarter than the guy you're playing against kind of approach, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on that.
So when I first joined the Army, I played college baseball, so I had like this mentality where I was a little bit cocky. There's like a fine line between cocky and confident that you have to ride in. But by the time I joined the Army, I realized that a lot of mistakes I was making as a player, and then with my career, because I left college after I got hurt and lost my starting spot, and a lot of it could have been avoided if I knew some of these skills, like avoid thinking traps, which is one of the MRT or mental resiliency training techniques that it teaches you how to deal with thinking traps, and following Alice down the rabbit hole, and avoiding icebergs and stuff like that. I'm going to be going over and how to apply it to the ball field, and how to think about the game and how to get yourself back in the groove and get your mind right before practice in a game. And it's just little tips and tricks that'll help a player and a coach, and even a parent, if they find their player, maybe not acting themselves during the game or before the game, and just how to snap them out of it.
Love it. I've always thought that coaches, when I was a child, were the most important people in my life. And then as an athlete, they were the most important people in my life. And then I was honored to be a coach and be a mentor. And now I'm in the after school world in our nonprofit. And that was absolutely an outgrowth of my coaching career. And coaches aren't just sports. Like, we all need coaches. We all need mentors. And the life lessons that, come on, why do we love football? Because of, the locker room conversations and the growth as, a high school kid that we go through and all those things. So to have a little piece of that and get to be involved in that in any way is awesome. I love, love, love great coaches. I like to read biographies of great leaders in politics, in history, and in sports. And coaches are some of my favorite people. I mean, some of my favorite books I've ever read are autobiographies or biographies of coaches. For you specifically, Bill Jr., who are some of your favorite coaches, whether they were coaches that you actually were coached by, or maybe somebody who you read a book by, or maybe you heard them speak at a conference or whatever. I'd love to hear who you were influenced by, are influenced by.
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple a couple you might not know, and a couple you definitely will know that I've had a little bit of influence. in my career and growing up. One of my favorite coaches when I was first starting out was Bobby Woods. He was like a local hitting coach in South Jersey, and I mean, he taught me everything I knew about my swing from the time I was like 8 years old and I could actually get in a cage, put a helmet on, until I, graduated high school and got my scholarship and went down to Florida. So I'd even call him back then when I was in college and just ask him a couple tips here and there. And then,
Awesome.
Cal Ripken. I did a camp down at in Aberdeen, Maryland with Cal Ripken, and got in
Very
the cage
cool.
with him, and he did some soft toss, and I picked his brain for the 30 seconds I was in there. He taught me a lot, just by his mannerisms
That
and how he
family
acted
is
around
so
the
about
kid.
the Ripken family is so about teaching the game, so into teaching the game. I'm a huge fan of them because of that. I've been lucky enough to have a little small relationship with the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation. Nothing that matters, but they do such good work. I'm a huge fan of them. But please continue.
Oh yeah, they were great. And then I had my 15 and under team coach. We called him Moose. He was great. He taught me a lot about just hanging in there. And because when I first started playing for that 15 and under team, I was 13 years old, and they called me up from like the minors, if you will,
Sure.
because they needed me. And we lost in the championship game that year. And then when we were 15, we made it back to the championship game, and we ended up winning. And that whole like 3-season adventure, if you will, was pretty cool. And to come from losing in the championship game to getting back there, and then being able to help my teammates, overcome all that stuff with him, behind me. And it was really cool how he developed me as a leader on the field, and how he was as a leader, as a coach.
Love it. And maybe some of your favorite coaches or managers or whatever, as a fan, who are coaches that you like as a fan. Maybe you don't have a personal connection with them, but like for me, Tommy Lasorda, he never managed me. I'm just a fan. Who would be some of them that you like?
I mean, obviously, I got to say Charlie Manuel. He brought the trophy to Philly. 100%, I got to say
Seemed
Charlie.
to be one of the
But,
great hitting coaches of all time. One of the great hitting coaches of all time.
Yeah, I'm actually super excited about Girardi being in there now.
Jim Thome credits Charlie Manuel when they were together in the Indians organization. He said he didn't have Charlie Manuel in his younger days coming up through the system with the Indians. He said there's no way he ever makes the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
Tommy could mash.
yeah, that's just a credit to how good of a coach he was. If a guy like Jim Thome is saying that he wouldn't have been where he is without him, wow, that's like,
yeah,
it's like the ultimate respect. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Bill Senior, who are some of your favorite coaches or managers or whatever?
I got to know Charlie Manuel a little bit when I was, doing the photography. And like I said before, I was covering like about 50 to 55 Phillies games a year. And so you're really not allowed to talk to the players or the coaches and all, but if they talk to you, you're allowed to talk. And once in a while, he would talk to you, say, how you doing or whatever. But I would just be around the cages, listening to him, leaning in on the net, during BP and talking to the players. I mean, his knowledge of the game, the stuff he was telling them players, I mean, all the years, I wasn't big into playing like Bill was, but, all the coaching and like he was talking about Bobby Woods, I went to just about every one of those lessons. And the stuff that was coming out of Charlie Manuel's mouth, I mean, the mechanics wise, I mean, it's just phenomenal. What he, the knowledge he had, and I don't know how many years he's been in the game, but I'm sure it's 50 plus years he's been in the game. And he's just a hell of a coach, and he's a player's manager, and I always loved them. And probably my second favorite manager is Ron Gardenhire. When I worked for the Twins,
well, yeah.
Ron Gardenhire was probably the ultimate player's manager. I mean, he would get on him when he had to get on him, but he was one of them guys that something was down, he'd go over and sit right next to him and talk to him, not yelling at him. He yelled at him, like I said, if they need to be yelled at. But most of the time he was going over there, calming them down, talking to them, and he's just a really good player's manager. And when Manuel got let go in Philadelphia, I was praying that they were going to hire Gardenhire, and they waited too long, and he wound up going to Detroit. I'd have loved to seen him come to Philly.
I don't know him like you do, but everything I ever read, the players just revered him so much. And he was on a great rookie card, right? Wasn't he on the 82 Herbeck rookie card? I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah.
You're a baseball card guy, right?
Yeah.
Now, you didn't mention Fergosi. When I got to coach, when I was coaching in high school, I was lucky enough to go to quite a few coaching seminars in all three sports, baseball, football, and basketball. And one of my neat baseball stories is Fergosi, he was a Phillies manager for, a couple of years, I don't know. And big Angel connections, and it was in Anaheim, right across from Disneyland, actually. And we just got to hang with him for a little bit. It wasn't a long time, maybe 30 minutes or something. But what a nice guy. He's passed since. I don't know. He passed a couple of years back. But this was, I guess it would have been in the 90s, or I don't know. Yeah, it would have been the 90s. And those are the kind of things like when you're in a hotel room or a hotel lobby and you just get to hang with somebody, because those kind of guys, they're not being recognized all the time. They can walk around in the lobby and not get, inundated or whatever. But he was just a really nice guy. And, I'm mentioning him only because he was a Phillies manager for a while, but anyway, good stuff. I love that kind of stuff. I love those kind of interactions. When I've been able to go to coaching clinics, and I did a lot in the 90s, some of my favorite memories of all time, because it's just the guys hanging out talking about stuff that I didn't get to be at, but they were, and they could share it. I don't know. Fergosi seemed like a really nice guy, at least that one day. You guys being Phillies fans, I'm guessing you like Fergosi at least at one point in your life.
Fergosi, but I would have to say I was more a Dallas Green fan back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Dallas Green,
the Phillies were, let's face it, before they made the playoffs those couple years in the 70s against the Dodgers, they were garbage.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was the manager like in our years, right? The Dodger Phillies years. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I know. He was on the team in 80. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, Danny Ozark was the manager when mid-70s, actually. But Dallas Green. And Dallas Green was the GM, too, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was the GM. I
don't know. I might be
wrong. He was the GM. I know he was in Chicago. He was a GM in Chicago.
I don't know why I popped him. Mick says, Sam Smith, my high school coach. Lithia Springs High School, drafted by the Reds as a catcher. Very cool. I was a catcher too, and that's so cool. Yeah, my high school coach, Coach Layton, Ron Layton. I'm still mad at him because I couldn't beat him in racquetball, but that's a whole other story. But he made such a good, big impression on me. Just such a nice guy. He was a Yankees fan, but I let that go too. But everybody loves their high school coach,
quick
right?
Question that Mick made a post a little earlier when Bill was talking about doing his videos, the instructional videos. Mick, those videos are going to be on this channel. They're not going to be on a new channel. We're going to post them here. But when the first ones come out, I'll send you the links.
Good stuff. Blaine says, I love watching Ron Gardy. He's passionate and will take up for his guys. Yeah, I don't know him like Bill does, but certainly large respect for him. Yeah, for me, it's, the obvious one. I love Tommy Lasorda, but I have to admit, I love Bruce Bochy. I think that what he did in San Diego and then what he did in San Francisco, he absolutely added wins to his teams. And I don't usually think managers do that, but Bruce Bochy was really, really good. I got to watch him play too. Probably the slowest Major League Baseball player I ever saw. But as a manager, I guess you don't have to be fast. But anyway, I love that guy. And now Dave Roberts. I got to play. He was in our league in high school. I may have shared this before. And so he was way better than me, obviously. But I had that connection because he was in our league, right? In football, you're in the league. You feel like you know a guy. And now he's my team's manager, so that's kind of cool. I always love that. He's had a little rough time in the playoffs lately. But anyway, good stuff. Any other favorite managers you guys want to talk about before we move on? I feel like I'm
just real quick,
interrupting
he wasn't a manager, and I talked about this before, my interaction with Rod Carew over the couple years of working for the Twins in the dugout. And all. Just saw on the MLB at Bat App about a day or two ago, he's got a book that's coming out. Now, I'm not a book reader.
Oh.
I'll read things if they're going to, teach me how to put things together, or like to work this, God forbid, software here that's been driving me crazy for the last 3 weeks to get it going right. But Rod Carew's got a book coming out, and I'm going to buy that book, and that's a book that I'm going to read.
That's cool.
And it's called Rod.
So we're the vast opposite then, Bill. I haven't read a manual ever.
Yeah, it's Rod Carew's book is called One Tough Out, and it should be coming out if it's not out in stores already. So that's one book I'm going to order and read that.
So if you don't know who Rod Carew is, he was late 60s, early 70s, in the late 70s, early 80s even, one of the best hitters. Little lefty, looked like he weighed about 100 pounds. Didn't do much with the bat, but boy, line drive after line drive after line drive off that bat.
He was the
clearly one of your favorites,
Tony
right?
Gwynn before Tony Gwynn.
Yes. Totally agree. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right,
I loved it. I mean, we're a little. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, we got a little bit of a lag there.
No, I want to hear
I
what you
wanted to bring up there. If you guys are done, it's about a draft prospect that's looking pretty good.
Please.
Yeah, there's a draft prospect in this year's draft. He comes out of a junior college. What's it called? San Jacinto Junior College. I'm not exactly. Is that the name of the town in Texas, Jeff? You would know that.
San Jacinto
College here, and he's a commit to South Carolina College, but he's been hitting the radar gun at he was sitting at 101, 102, and then they had a Twitter feed that came out the other day, a video. He's now hitting 105 on the gun, and this kid's he's 6'8", and they said last year in the major leagues there was only I believe 5 players that touched that tall, and there was one player that was 6'9", a pitcher in the Cubs organization. And I'm going to bring this up here real quick.
Do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, like, share, comment, hit the bell button. I will see you guys next time. Hey, what's up, guys? So what we got here is Luke Little. Luke Little went viral this past week on the internet. Why? Well, clearly here you see a 102 mile an hour throw followed by a 101 mile an hour throw. Absolute cheese out of this monstrous left-hander out of San Jac College in Texas, junior college in Texas. Luke is committed to the University of South Carolina. This big boy stands in at 6'8", 225 pounds. That's a lot of human being moving down the hill. And moving downhill very effectively and very well, as he moves very, very well for his size. Now,
it's a lot of torque,
and he's bringing it. That's for sure. Now they're saying that's not the Statcast, guns that they use and all. There could be a little bit off, but if you're hitting 105 on a radar, even if it's only 101 or 102, you're still bringing it.
I mean, I can tell you that the radar guns never went 3 digits when I was throwing. I wish. If you're a lefty, you can throw a strike, and you can hit 85, you're going to be a major leaguer. So if the dude can stay injury-free and throw a strike, he'll make it. But they never do.
That I read to hit 105 was Jordan Hicks for the Cubs in May.
He's the only one that's ever hit 105.
Yeah, he hit 2018 against who? Against the Phillies.
Jordan Hicks is filthy.
Yeah.
Jordan Hicks is Aroldis Chapman, but from the right side and younger. Yeah, that's some serious heat. Yeah, I don't know. There was that video of Michael Kopech, or however you pronounce his name, a couple years ago. He was taking a crow hop, but he threw it, I don't know what he threw, 110 or some dang thing. I never really necessarily believe those radar guns. But the thing is, when you're that tall, it's way harder to stay injury-free and throw a strike. Yep. How many Randy Johnsons are there? 1. How many Ryan Andersons are there? 3 zillion. So I don't know. We'll see. Those tall pitchers don't make it very often.
Well, this junior college that he goes to, the San Jacinto or San Jac as they call it, supposedly that's where Roger Clemens went also before he went on to the University of Texas.
Very cool.
So I
was going to say, how come he's in JUCO?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Did you ever face any big, tall dudes, Bill Jr.? I didn't. I can tell you nobody that. Darren Johnson, another Phillies guy, his son, you guys know Darren Johnson? You guys like the Phillies. His son, Darren, he moved out to San Diego, and Darren Johnson Jr. was I guess he was a year ahead of me, and I played against him in some tournaments and such. He was a big boy. He was a real big boy.
You see that?
And I think he was a prospect
there. He's going to pull a John Kruk against Randy Johnson if he's facing
right.
Anybody.
Thank you very much. Yes, I totally agree. I love John Kruk. That's one of my favorite All-Star memories, certainly, but I love John Kruk. Growing up in San Diego, I got to see him in '87 when he was a rookie. He could rake too. He was good.
If you're ever down in Naples, Florida, you got to go to John Kruk Steakhouse down there, a cheesesteak place.
Oh, I would.
That's really good place.
How far is that from Orlando? That might need to be a road trip.
Hours.
Is that close?
No, it's 3.5 hours south. It's
not
south
what
of
I
Fort
wanted
Myers.
to hear.
But he
I love John Kruk.
he lives in Naples in the off season. He's got a house down there, and his daughter goes to well, she's graduated high school now. Before he went back to the Phillies to be an announcer, he was coaching his daughter's softball team in Naples, Florida.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense. If I see 100 plus, I'm taking every pitch. If I'm seeing 100 plus, I'm sitting down. Unless I know he can throw a strike.
I'm doubling my life insurance if I see 100 plus.
Right? I don't think I ever faced anything close to that. We had a kid in my high school year. His name was Sean Reese. I think he was a first round draft pick. I wouldn't even swear to that. He never even made it. So the best pitchers I ever faced and the hardest throwing pitchers I ever faced, they never went anywhere. So I don't really know if I ever saw anything. I doubt I even saw mid-90s. Like, I don't know. Bill Jr., you obviously played at a higher level than me. How high do you think you touched when you were in the batter's box?
98.
98?
Yeah, we were playing.
Was it somebody that we know?
No. I don't even remember this kid's name now. He was this tall lefty. He was probably about 6'4", so like my dad's height, 6'5"-ish. And he's playing for Santa Fe Community College, and I think my dad was actually at this game. It's over in Gainesville, and this lefty was just bringing like heat, but every other throw he was hitting a backstop, and I was a lefty, so I get up in the box, and the first ball comes right past my head at like 98 miles an hour, so I'm like gone, like I'm out of it. I ended up having the golden sombrero that day. I was just, my mind was done. Like I was like, nope, I'm not standing here.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Why is it harder for lefties to hit lefties? So I've never understood, but it is. It totally is. Is it just because you didn't see him as much?
It's got to do with vision.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, it's got to do with vision that you don't see him.
I wasn't at that game, Bill, but if I was, I'd have been on the third base side when you were up to bat, and I would give you the sign like they did in the movie, you know,
Yeah, Major League.
Major League, yep.
Or you could just bang on a trash can like the Astros did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, when that first pitch came like about 3 inches from my eyeballs at 98 miles an hour, I barely had time to get out of the way. Yeah, that was it for me that day. I got the golden sombrero. I they actually had one. They had like a giant farmer's hat that they spray painted gold, and if you struck out 4 times a game, you had to sign it, wear it to the next practice.
I love it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'd like to stand in there once at 100. No, I wouldn't. I would have, like, back in the day, just to see if I could get around on it. I don't think today would be a good. My belly would be in the way now. We're running out of time. I hear we've got some trivia.
Yeah. Are you guys ready to get into a little trivia here? We're tied up 3-3 after last week.
I need some paper again.
Yep, you're going to need some paper.
Oh, yeah. What do I need? So if you guys are in chat, play along with us. I don't know what he's got for us, but I'm sure it's going to be hard. Yeah, make sure you smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Don't forget to check out Bill's other channel, Magic the Mouse TV, and check out his podcast, Magic the Mouse. It's everywhere that podcasts can be found. And you can check out my stuff too, Dope Dad. If you want, 3-3, we're tied. Pressure's on.
All right, you guys can still hear me on here even though I'm not on screen, right?
I can hear you.
All right. Let me know when you're ready here. We'll go with question number 1.
So again, guys in chat, play along with us if you'd like. So we're writing it down and showing people? Is that what we're doing?
I'm going to put the questions up here in a second here. And
all right. I did not prep for this, so it's going to be a little piece of paper. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate you doing that. All right, so yes, we're writing it, and yes, we're showing it?
Yep.
Oh,
question
my thing's right in the way there.
Cal Ripken Jr. holds the Major League record by playing in 2,632 straight games. Who holds the National League record for playing in the most consecutive games? Pete Rose, Stan Musial, Steve Garvey, or Hank Aaron?
All right. Yep, go ahead.
3, 2, 1.
You ready?
Yep.
I can't see. Yep, you're both right. Steve Garvey, 1,207 games.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. Right. I like it.
Got to update our
Pressure's
scoreboard
on.
here.
Oh, we got the scoreboard too.
Yeah,
Wow.
we got the scoreboard going.
Sweet
Look at
little
the tally
scoreboard.
board. All right, you guys ready
Like
for
it.
question number 2? Here we go.
Yeah,
Yes.
send it.
Question number 2. Which player scored the most runs in the last decade, the 2010 to 2019 decade? Ian Kinsler, Mike Trout, Ichiro Suzuki, or Adam Eaton? Who scored
I'm
the
guessing you mean the outfielder, not the pitcher.
who scored the most runs from 2010 through 2019?
We need some Jeopardy music. I'm ready when you are.
No kidding. Yep.
Where's it? Oh, as I asked for it.
All right, let me move this here and see what you got here. Bill has 2, and Ichiro. Bill is right. Mike Trout. Mike Trout scored 903 runs.
Thought it might be Trout because you love Trout. Dang
He
it.
scored 24 more runs than Kinsler.
Ichiro would
Really?
be
That's it. Only 24.
Yep, 24. Kinsler was 24 runs behind. Trout scored 903.
Well, when
I
did
like it.
Ichiro
I like
retire?
it.
That's what I was kind of basing it off of. I know Trout graduated high school in 2009, didn't get in the league until a couple years later.
2011.
So it's like,
he
maybe.
debuted.
Yeah, but when did Ichiro retire? 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yeah.
He stopped playing as much back
2 years
then.
ago.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's kind of when I based it off of. I was going between Trout or Ichiro. That's
All
for
right.
sure.
You guys ready for questions?
How many questions are we doing tonight? Are we doing
got
5?
questions. We go a little over. And it won't be long. Here we go. Question number.
No, that's
3.
okay. That's not what I meant. I need to catch up. That's why.
Okay. Question number 3. We got 3 more.
Cool.
All right. Question number 3. Bartolo Colon hit his first and only major league home run, career homer, at the age of 42. Which team did he hit his homer against? The Los Angeles
Yep,
Dodgers,
I know this.
the San
Me too.
Francisco Giants, the Cubs, or the Padres?
3, 2, 1.
Yep, I don't even have to wait. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. All right. You're both right. Hit it against the Padres on May 7th of 2016.
Big
Just
sexy. One of
barely
the
made
hardest
it over the
places
left
to hit
field fence.
one of the hardest places to hit a bomb too, though, and he did.
Yeah, that's true. It's nice and windy in there. I would have been more impressed if he actually hit the warehouse and left.
Yeah, right. Well, I
Or
mean,
the office building, yeah.
All right.
such a beautiful park.
You guys ready for question number
Oh,
4?
yeah.
Sure.
Question number 4.
This is fun.
Who ranks second to Babe Ruth all time in career slugging percentage? Barry Bonds, Ted Williams, Harmon Killebrew, or Lou Gehrig? Ranks second in career slugging percentage all time to Babe Ruth.
All right. I'm ready.
Is it? Me too.
Yep.
Okay. Bill's right. Ted Williams.
I'm in trouble. He doesn't miss
Williams
it.
had a .6338, and Babe Ruth was .687 in slugging percentage.
Man,
Babe Ruth,
awesome.
That's a big. Numbers wise, it doesn't look like a big gap, but in slugging percentage, that's a huge gap over a career.
That's insane. I hear Babe Ruth was good. Just in.
Yeah, when they can get him out of the
I always like
man,
the
he was
stories.
real good. Boy, we got a little gap going here.
I know. I'm in trouble. I'm going to need like way more than one more question.
Yep. All right, here we go. Last question of the night. Question number 5. Who was the first Major League Baseball team mascot to appear on the field for their team? Who was the first Major League mascot to appear on the field? Philly Fanatic, Mr. Red, Mr. Met, or Bernie Brewer?
All right.
You guys don't need to
Is
see
that-
good with them? You guys good? All right. Mr. Red, Billy's got number 4. You're both wrong. Mr. Met, on April 11th, 1962. Mr. Red appeared in 1972. the Philly Fanatic in 1978 and Bernie Brewer in 1972. So
Bernie Brewer's a horrible name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. It's pretty bad.
Bernie the
That's
beer drinker
fun.
would
I
be
like
better.
it.
Yeah, the
there
beer
you go.
drinker. Yeah.
Norm.
So after,
That's fun. I like it. I don't like the scoreboard, but I like the game. That's fun.
You let this young
How did
kid
chat
in.
do? I was trying not to look in chat. Did they do better than me?
We got a couple of them. Yeah, got some answers. The last question, Nick got it right, and Passholder pair, they both got it right.
Good stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I love sports trivia.
Well, I'm trying to mix it up a little bit between, older stuff and newer stuff. Some newer stuff because obviously we've been around longer, Jeff, so we know older stuff. I knew you were going to get the Garvey one. I kind of figured that, but I figured I'd try and stump.
Yeah, if I missed the Garvey one, I'd have to renounce my Garvey for Hall of Fame fan club membership.
But man, what a difference between the National League mark and the Major League mark, huh? More than twice.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember when Garvey, I think he broke his finger or something. It was like in a doubleheader, and it was a bummer. It was a bummer. He was the Iron Man. He was absolutely the Iron Man until he wasn't, and then Cal Ripken was. It is what it is. But yeah, I love him. I think he should be a Hall of Famer. I think that alone is one of the things that should put him in consideration. He was a clutch hitter. He did, All-Star MVPs, NLCS MVPs, World Series clutchness, best player on the best team in the National League for 5-6 years. But he didn't get the love. I don't know. So it is what it is.
Well, I guess it's time to make our announcement here. Jeff kind of alluded to it when we first came on. We got looking at the time and what we're doing now and possibly what's going to come in the fall with football, because Jeff usually does a live stream on Thursday nights and he does a watch party on Thursday night football. So that would kind of interfere with us. But that's also baseball playoff time. So this is our last night on Thursday night at 11. We're going to switch to Tuesday nights. We're going to be on every Tuesday night now at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So for those on the East Coast, that'll be a little better for you guys also. And anybody on the West Coast, it'll still be at a decent hour there, 7 o'clock. And so that should work out pretty good. And that'll be our time slot going forward every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern.
I like it. I like it a lot. I hope the people in chat like it and can come over on Tuesdays also.
Yeah, I'd like
Movie
to say
Mania Nick says cool. I'll be there. Thank you, Nick.
It's going to be better for Bill, even though he's in the central time zone like you are. I mean, he doesn't get done, 11 o'clock, and by the time he wraps up and gets in bed, and then he's got to be up at 4 o'clock to be to the base. So
yeah,
it's going to work out good for him.
I couldn't do that anymore. So yeah, hopefully this will be better for everybody. And I hope, as the season gets going, if it gets going, obviously it'll give us more opportunities to do more things and promote the show and all that. But I hope Tuesday works out well. I think it will. We'll see. But football season, they have games.
I wanted to bring up one more thing before we get out of here. The opening sequence, somebody mentioned it earlier, but I'd like to thank Josh from Triple P, practically Perfect Park Hopping. I bought the opening, but it was really complex, and Josh was able to put all our stuff in it, take out some stuff that was in there we didn't want, and he was able to do it all up for us. So I really appreciate his help. I wish he was in here to see.
Josh's a great guy.
Josh isn't a big baseball fan. He's big into football, but not much into baseball. But he did a really good job for us, and I appreciate it.
But other than not being a baseball fan, he's awesome.
And to answer your question, Stacy had a question, and yes, I did. I sent him an email day before yesterday with all the information and our logo and our thumbnail, and I haven't looked to see if it's on there yet. I haven't got a reply back from him, so I'm not sure if it's been posted yet or not. But when I sent him the email, I sent it to him with our new time, so we should be good.
He's a great guy. I'll reach out to him if we don't hear back. But he's a great guy. He's a good friend. And if you don't know who we're talking about, Dean at The Live Place, also Dreamers Empire, check out his website. The website, The Live Place, simply is this. It promotes family-friendly live streams. It's basically like the TV guy for family-friendly live streams. Lots of Disney things, but lots of non-Disney things on there too, including sports. And just a great, great, great guy. So if you get a chance, get over there. He does a great show He goes live every Sunday. I think it actually precedes my DizTube. Pretty sure it does. So give him some love and thank him for doing all he does for our community. But I want to say that before we get out, it's 11. Before we end, I'll shut up after this. Probably not, but I'll try. Bill, great job. I mean, I know how frustrated you were last week. I want to say it publicly. You freaking crushed it, dude. This looks so cool. I love it. I would watch this show. So,
and you know what I like about this, though? I got the computer in front of me, so go ahead and talk, Jeff, and I can just kill your audio. I love it.
Go Dodgers.
When you get talking Dodgers, you get muted. I like it. He's talking Dodgers, and he's muted. I love it.
Talking Dodgers. Yeah, but then you're missing out on all the gems.
I could just bleep you. I could bleep you out.
I mean, my wife has been pushing buttons, hoping for that her whole life.
One thing I got to do for you, Jeff, before we leave here, I got to play this. I found this on the internet, and I got to play it for you. It's old school.
Did the Phillies win a game?
So I say D, I say D-O, D-O-D, D-O-D-G, D-O-D-G.
It's really low, but I heard the D,
Yeah.
D-O-D-G.
Yeah, it's an old, and I'll have to try and bump the volume up on it a little bit and play for you. And so Danny Kaye singing the Dodgers.
Danny Kaye, I love me some Danny Kaye.
Yep. Yeah, I found.
I love that you know who Danny Kaye is. I've got. Okay, all right. I'll hook you up with some Dodger audio.
Yep.
Love it. So yeah, if you guys don't know what's going on here, I'm trying to save both of them really, mostly senior, but it goes for junior too. I'm trying to save them and bring them over. Like the dark side's fun when you're young, but then you got to come over to the light side, and the Phillies are the dark side, and the Dodgers are the light side. So we're working on them. They'll figure it out. You know,
yeah, well,
it is
when
what
you
it
told
is.
me earlier, the lights behind me, I'm wearing the Phillies tonight, so I have the Phillies colors behind me, the red and blue. Jeff earlier today,
I mean, I'm colorblind, but it looks freaking awesome to me.
Yeah,
so
Jeff,
I don't know.
Jeff earlier today told me I should have Dodger blue behind me. I said the only way Dodger blue lighting would look good would be in the owl house, if you needed a little help going. That's the only way Dodger
it's
blue
got to
would
look
help.
good in there too, because the older I get, the more I'm in there. So I agree. Let's do it up. Stacy, whatever, Stacy. Stacy's so awesome, and then she swerves into Philly talk. I don't understand it.
Yeah, you can just put a message.
Anyway, guys,
in
I
chat.
appreciate everybody.
When she wants,
What's that?
Stacy, I said she can just send me a message in chat when she wants me to delete your audio for a little bit, and then me and Bill can just talk some good baseball.
She wouldn't dare. She's too nice. That was fun. I had a blast tonight. I had fun in trivia, even though I'm getting my butt kicked. I had fun listening to all of it. I love this. Please, 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 if you're a praying kind of person, pray for some baseball, because I'm going crazy over here, freaking the heck out. I haven't watched baseball tonight in months. So anyway, that's all I got. You want to promote anything or say anything before we say goodnight?
One quick thing before we go. Our email address is bushleaguebb@gmail.com. If you guys got any ideas you'd like us to talk about, send us an email. That's bushleaguebb@gmail.com. Like I said, if you got something you'd love us to talk about, send me a message, and I'll get together with you, and we'll dig up the info, and we'll talk about it one night.
I've been checking the email a lot, and mostly the last few days it's been "Go Dodgers." Why do we have to talk about the Phillies all the time? I don't know. I don't know who's been sending
you've
it.
been looking
But I
in the
keep
wrong
reading
mailbox. You've been looking in the trash or the spam. That's the wrong.
I mean,
mailbox.
maybe. Tim, thanks for being here. Stacy, thanks for being here and being a great mod. Movie Mania Nick, thanks for being here every dang week. Mick, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I loved what you said. Felt like a family. That makes my day. Pass holder pair in the house. Tim in the house. I think everybody. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, don't take it personally. I love you. I'm glad you're here. All kinds of stuff going on my channel this weekend. What do you got? You got a podcast promotion? You got a channel promotion? What do you guys want to talk about?
We haven't done a podcast in a while. Hopefully, Bill would start in his new job with his new unit. He's been kind of tied up and with the internet, and hopefully we'll get one out soon. Over on my channel, the Magic of the Mouse TV. If you haven't seen it yet, I put a video out on Walt Disney's Florida project is turning 50. It's like a 19, almost 20-minute video of how Walt Disney World came about in Florida.
Love it. Love that kind of stuff.
All right. And
when are they going to have?
Tuesday night at 10. Just our new time.
Yeah. I'm excited about that, and hopefully we'll get some videos up there soon. Some coaching videos and some other stuff. Pass holder pair, thank you for that. Yeah, tomorrow night will be fun. We're giving away some villains pins. Rob, thank you for being here, buddy. Boy, I got a little tickle. Anyway, I had a blast. Anything you want to say, Bill Jr., before we say goodnight?
No, just stay safe out there, everybody. I know it's definitely a challenging time. Like my dad was saying earlier, everybody's tempers are starting to get a little bit uneasy with everything that's going on. People not knowing what the heck's happening from week to week now, even. So, yeah, just stay safe out there. We're going to be putting up more content on Bush League Baseball's channel, and hopefully getting up more podcasts for our Magic of the Mouse show here shortly. But like my dad was saying, yeah, I'm starting a new job, and the hours are a lot more different. It's a whole different mission than what I'm used to. So, got to get back into the swing of things here, and hopefully get more content up for you guys shortly.
Whatever you're doing, buddy, I hope you're staying safe, and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
All right, Stacey, I will check my Instagram. My phone just died, apparently, so I was going to look at it right now and tell you I see it, but I don't see it because my phone just died. But I will plug in the phone and check it out here shortly, Stacey. So I think that's it, guys. We went a little long, but I had a blast, guys. Give some love to Bill. Get over to his podcast and his YouTube channel. Subscribe and follow just for all the work he did for this promo, pre-show, all of it. The production value, it's freaking amazing. I love it. Thank you guys for being loyal. I really think it's going to pay off. You stick with us. It's going to be a great show. I'm having a blast with it. I think that's it.
All right.
Happy weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. Go wash your hands and have a great day. And yeah, I think that's it. Everybody go play ball.
We'll see you
Good night, everybody.
Tuesday night at 10.
Thanks so much.